Welcome back, Keepers of the Flame. Okay, so not a medical professional, yada yada yada, not licensed in anything. If you're on any current medication, do not attempt any of these things without first consulting your physicians. Please and thank you. So let's talk a little bit about detox. Everybody kind of went through that fad for a hot second. When we're in winter time, detox is probably the best season to go about flushing all the things out from the inside, because a lot of times what's happening is your body's already tensing up anyway. So in that contraction, flushing out everything that gets contracted on, super great idea. Okay. Now it used to be a tradition. It's not new fad. It's not a blah, 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 blah. And no, I'm not telling you to not eat food and go on water fasting. Our systems typically aren't built for that in this day and age when we've been propagandized into having 3 meals a day. It's just not, it's not a thing. Okay. That's for like years and years worth of detoxing people that feel like they have to. Okay, so that's way far off in your future if you should so choose to go down that path. Garlic is one of the best ways to do it, all natural, cheap, without having to spend a couple hundies on a detox kit. Okay, Purium's got a few detox kits. But you can't just dive in. You need to have a professional with you. You need to have a professional if you're going to start taking some meds outside of like garlic and basic food detoxes, like not eating any chemicals, so it's all organic, non-GMO, all that good stuff. That stuff you can do on your own. And then with the garlic cleanse, you gotta make sure, because I've met people that are allergic to garlic, so you gotta be sure you're in the clear on that. Then you need to just take half a clove and wait an hour and see how it goes, and then up the dosage after that. And I mean, it's more than just a parasite detox. I just freaking got over a cold by eating like 8 cloves a day. So, on the hour, every hour, set your alarm. And yeah, it burns. So if you don't like spicy stuff, it's probably not the regime for you, because it's spicy. Not like I'm gonna burn away and die spicy. It's spicy in the moment, and then it kind of fades away. But nonetheless, so keeping that in mind, this is the best time of year to do it, because you're not gonna be active. You're gonna be totally focused on your body. You can totally sit there and pick a weekend and just do it. Okay, so I highly recommend, especially in the summer when the months are hot, you're sweating already, you're already detoxing that way. It's in those stagnancies that kind of get, stuck and settled in the body, and then nothing moves. You're not sweating, you're not moving as much, you're not, whatever it is. That detox is going to keep things cycling through, keep movement happening, and really go with the body constriction when it's cold here in the northern hemisphere. So when your body constricts, you're already flushing things out, and your body's actually assisting in that process. Okay, so again, going with nature rather than against it. Who would have thunk? Crazy, I know. So, and again, don't start anything without somebody's explicit, a professional's explicit, okay, guidance, whatever you want to call it. Because again, if you're on medication and you start a detox, you could be in a lot of trouble. Okay? So this is not a thing to be taken lightly. Detox is very serious business. And the parasites will eventually here one day be traced back to all disease in the body. But hey, if we tell the Nazi whitecoats that, they're going to lose a lot of money. So think they link type 2 diabetes to a parasite. Heart disease is going to be a parasite. Yeah, heartworms. No, we probably gave them to the animals rather than the animals giving them to us. Maybe we should stop pissing and shitting in our water. Not even the animals do that, guys. Okay. Just saying. Just say. I mean, like, and all the... it's a doozy. Okay? So, just be mindful of that when you see anything that's anti-inflammatory in a medicinal setting. Not a Nazi white coat medicinal setting, like nature medicinal setting. It's usually an anti-parasite. Because the parasites are the ones that are causing the inflammation. Okay? So, just buckle up for that. Just buckle up for that. Get on the train, get yourself used to it, and not have to, like, panic about it when the media wants you to panic about it. Okay? It's a real thing. It's a real thing. I cannot remember the dude, but he moved. I don't know what country he's from, but I think he moved from the original country he was practicing medicine from, and he's like currently writing a book that, like, what kind of detox you need to do to cure what disease or whatever. And again, I don't know if he's real or legit. I'm just saying he exists and he's out there, and he knows that most diseases are caused by parasites. Okay. So, and the parasites are already in our bodies. They just, the more stress we undertake, I should say, the more stress we're under, the more systematic breakdowns our bodies get from society and its pressures, and then its exposure to toxins. Saw some dude that was like in a hazmat suit because he had a patient with scabies or something. I'm like, for somebody who works in the medical field, A, to shame their patient like that, B, to not comprehend what the fuck kind of environment they exist in, is ludicrous. Ludicrous. It's, yeah, procedure doesn't negate how you're exposed to on a daily basis. Because if your institution doesn't recognize parasites, guess what's all over the place? Anyway, so people always think parasites and like these giant long worms. Well, some of them are, a lot of them are microscopic, which is why they're not detecting them. And the other part is, you know, there's some people out there that might even believe they're just part of the human existence. So, there's that. That's how normalized parasites are. So, and again, don't get all heebie-jeebie about it. Some parasites are actually really good for you. Some parasites can prevent you from having allergies. Like, legit, back in the day, they used to prescribe particular types of parasites for particular other types of ailments. I think that's why human species has so many already in them. So, just like there's good gut biomes, there's bad gut biomes. Okay, so don't freak yourself out too bad. But grab some garlic, Make sure it's organic. Get your detox. Yeah, you can hack it up and put it on, melt it with some butter and put it on a slice of bread and have garlic toast and eat it that way. As long as there's a whole clove, you're good. Nobody said it had to be miserable. I ate mine whole just because I felt like crap and didn't want to fix anything. It's not that bad after you get used to it. And no, it's not like the olive stuff with garlic cloves. I wish. It's different. You gotta eat the raw stuff. I know. Alright. I mean, if you wanted a little bit of more buffer, you could do that. But, like, it's not. The raw is going to be the most effective. But if you wanted to, in between, plug a few olives with garlic in them. And you do that. That'd be good maintenance routine. A couple of those a day. Garlic stuffed olives. You make honey garlic too, where you take however many cloves of garlic, based on the family and the needs, like if you all come down with a cold or flu. You take the garlic cloves, shell them, put them in a jar, and make sure that they are well coated. Like there's this much honey above the cloves that are in the jar, and then burp it for 7 to 10 days, letting those gases out because it's fermenting in the honey, and then you're set to go. Got a good remedy. Put that honey in your tea, and then eat a couple cloves of garlic a day when you're sick, or you can do the raw thing like I just did. And yes, even when it turns black, you can still eat it. I've eaten it. I've eaten a black garlic clove. It's alive. 3 years later. I'm just gearing up. But I thought, since it's winter time, and like shit ton of people just lost their health care, there's a little immune booster for you. There might be a joke somewhere in there about garlic cloves and vampires just being the symbolism for parasites. How we romanticize them. Now I'm going to have that Enya song stuck in my head. She lives alone in her freaking, I think it's Irish castle. With her cat and her cook. Holy fuck, I would. I totally would. kind of suiting for someone that has her voice to be in a gothic castle, like living alone and doing the hermit thing, producing all the yummy goodies that sound otherworldly. Okay. Let's pull one from the Herbal Astrology Oracle. It says you are the medicine. Okay. Going to see what we can make of this. Chamomile, inner peace, kava, and rosemary, kava community, rosemary ancient memory, and at the bottom you have ginseng magician. Palo Santo. Maybe get some of that smoking around in your environment. Palo Santo is an anti-parasitic. Again, not a medical professional, not giving any advice on how to take. Just saying a few little facts. A little word. Alright. Well, that was fun. Okay. I don't know why I'm tempted to go this direction, but we're going to start with Kava 48. Let me short and sweet. Celebration, community, kinship with tribe, community, friendship, union, finding your chosen family. There we go. Okay. Ruled by Pluto and the moon. Kava in Tongan means bitter. In Hawaiian, it's called awa. Legend has it that kava was brought over to the islands by the gods Cain and Canola. From their ancestral Polynesia, kava was known as the drink of the gods and honored across the Pacific Islands. Kava is believed to first have originated in the northern Vanuatu thousands of years ago. Considering the plant lacks seeds or means of self-propagation, it is believed that it is tended to by the gods until the first indigenous people arrived. Kava tea was regarded as a blessing and poured into shrines, then later drunk by Konashana, or a spiritual leader of ceremony. It was considered holy and only given to those of high rank, but eventually it became more widely accessible and to this day is drunk in ceremony to bring the community together. Sometimes called the intoxicating pepper, the effects of kava are a curious combination of deep relaxation alongside stimulation to the central nervous system. Kava is relaxing to muscles and dampens pain, while increasing the flow of thoughts. Kava can greatly increase mental clarity, ease depression, confusion, and sorrow, and sharpen intuition. Kava directly affects the limbic system, the control center of our emotions, just as the moon does. Plutonian herbs like kava cause deep transformation in our emotional mind. The energy of Pluto is that of regeneration, allowing us to decompress from accumulated emotions through the volcanic power of catharsis. Guidance. Kava's energy moves through your nervous system like a butterfly, relaxing, widening, and assisting in the surrendering. Although you might be amid an important moment in your life, remember that you don't have to do it alone. When you widen your circles intentionally, you receive support from the universe and the others to join you on the path. To fully draw upon butterfly's medicine, it gently invites you to observe your position in the community in this moment. Are you a protector, creator, connector, or visionary? And how does that correlate this moment in your life alongside your personal evolution? Egg, caterpillar, cocoon, or butterfly? Oftentimes, finding your purpose within your community and the parallels with your inner journey can provide great relief and meaning. Okay, and with the blue and black here, I'd look at your Lilith placement. Might give you a little bit more insight as to your place in the community as well. Pluto and Lilith, and the moon is here. So look at those, what fulfills you on the inside. Moon energy, your inner world, your inner tides, your inner emotions, creativity, abundance, flow. Tap into that. That's the moon energy, okay? Pluto is where you regenerate. That is your generational planet because it stays there for about 20 years, okay? So where in the community, where is it in your generation that you feel you fit into serving a purpose? And again, we are in times completely unknown, so don't start looking in teeny tiny itty bitty white coat boxes, okay? Yes, take that with you, possibly if you need to, but don't base camp there, because a lot of times this is what's happening and we can see this, they're taking away a lot of educational titles, making college even more expensive and unattainable and all that other stuff. So we are going to have to form our own communities and seize healing for what it is for us, rather than what the billionaires are going to have contact with, I guess, access to, whatever you want to call it here. Okay, so just keep that in mind as you're moving forward. Okay, and that's it. Inner peace, let's do that. Peace, restoration, softness, purity, graceful, power, inner peace, delight, harmony. The rulers are the sun and the moon, divine counterparts. The word chamomile is derived from the Greek camellia, meaning ground apple. In Spain, it has been called manzanilla, or little apple. For hundreds of years, a reference to the plant's refreshing, crisp, apple-like aroma, chamomile flowers are traditionally used in teas, tinctures, and formulas to treat anxiety, insomnia, depression, digestive upset, and antiseptic, and more. Chamomile was regarded as a sacred in ancient Egypt and commonly buried as incense in offering to the sun god Ra. Ancient Romans and Greeks valued chamomile for its medicinal properties and used it as a healing beverage to soothe skin conditions. During the Middle Ages, European doctors frequently prescribed chamomile syrups and ointments to treat various ailments, and it was used as a bittering agent in beer. Vikings regarded chamomile as one of the 9 sacred herbs and used it to soothe digestion and as a rinse for their hair to give their braids strength and shine. Although chamomile embodies the shining sun, its medicinal qualities are also aligned to the archetype of the moon. The moon rules the gastrointestinal system, emotional body, and nervous system. On a soul level, chamomile flowers assist us in releasing stored emotional tension from our stomach, nervous system, and solar plexus. Chamomile deeply nurtures our emotional landscape, able to soothe emotional distress and psychic stressors. If you find yourself triggered and consumed by small stresses, be aware that they accumulate, creating a chronic state of disharmony and fear. Chamomile today is reminding you not to project your fears onto life and others. Allow yourself a state of internal peace and give yourself the greatest love imagined. Chamomile, like deer energy, instills a contained center of innocence, warmth, and light within us. Deer blesses us with the power of gentleness to heal our wounds and the heart mind of wound beings. Don't push hard to do the work, quote unquote. It's the gentleness of spirit that heals all. Okay, hang on. Okay. All right. Sweet. So that speaks to like, everybody's going through stress right now. These are all like stress relieving herbs. One's for more spirit. We just dealt with more body, and now rosemary is going to be for the mind, which is interesting. So it, I don't remember a time when things were typically easy for humanity. I just don't remember that. So I think it's kind of up to the individual to find your peace. It's kind of up to us because the outer world isn't going to bring it. Your boss is going to be demanding. Your spouse is going to be demanding. Your children are going to be demanding. Everybody's going to be demanding. And you have to find that central place in yourself that says, I can't do this right now. I have to go take care of myself. And not only is that doing really good service to yourself, but it's also showing them that they can do that for themselves, because oftentimes those people are overstressed, right? So it's a continuum, right, of realizing that this life that we've created is not sustainable to human life. It just isn't. It's sustainable to human stress and disease, and it's not a stable environment. And that creates not just disease in the own individual, but it ripples out into society, and we're seeing that right now. We can see how that's rippling out into society, causing a lot of discord. And we like to think that the billionaires have it easy. No, they have to maintain control over us, which is not a fun job. I don't know why. Who came up with this idiotic concept of how a society is supposed to work, but they really are dumb. Anyway, so unsustainability. On to rosemary. Ancient memory. Remembrance. Multi-dimensional sight. Recollection, commitment, and loyalty to a vision. Ooh, child. Talking to me too now. Rosemary has been used medicinally dating back to the ancient Greeks and Romans in 500 BC. Dried sprigs of rosemary even showed up in the Egyptian tombs as early as 3000 BC. It should be noted here that the word Mary, or the name Mary, means rebel. Rebel. Okay. The ancients were well acquainted with this hardy shrub, and even where did it go? Which had a reputation for strengthening the mind and memory. It became the symbol for fidelity for new lovers during wedding ceremonies, as it was used in religious rites and funerals. During weddings, it was intertwined with the wreath worn by the bride and dipped in scented water to bless the union of a symbol of the sacred moment and eternal loyalty. Even today, rosemary is used to improve memory. Legend has it that Virgin Mary, mother of Jesus, as she fled from Egypt, sheltered next to a rosemary bush. She threw a cape onto the bush and white flowers turned blue. Since then, this precious herb has been called Rose of Mary. Okay. I laugh because the key to a long, successful, loyal marriage is forgetfulness. It's just, it has to be. If you remember all the crap that person puts you through, you ain't gonna sleep that night. Okay. Ruled by both Mercury and the planet of the mind and the sun, the planet representative of our base ego and superego, rosemary embodies this holy connection, and the mind of the ego, the superego, and the high mind. This card signifies past feelings and emotions that are resurfacing from deep within you. You may find yourself remembering and accessing ancestral memory that resides within your DNA. Yep, it's reading time. It never fails, you guys. All right. The rosemary assists us in healing through multidimensional sight, reminding us to use the power of vision to see beyond the constructs of everyday life. Don't disassociate or get consumed by the veil that broadcasts emotional imbalance. Call upon rosemary as a guiding light to see beyond the veil of confusion and stay committed to the vision that moves you. Ooh. Okay. Spirit, body, mind. All taken care of in the central nervous system. And that's all we really need right now is a remembering. We just need to remember who the heck we are and not what everybody else, has been programmed to tell us we're supposed to be. Okay. Remember. Not the 5th of November. Remember who you are on the inside. Remember what you came here for. And it's not to be a slave to a freaking billionaire corporation. I can tell you that much. Okay. There's one path closed off. Okay. I love you. Until next time, keep your flame.